That is funny, but no, we may have our growth challenges, and even us, if we give our explanation of why we did what we did or said what we said and what we meant by it, then we're expecting the other to understand that and grab a hold to it and let's move on with it. And sometimes it's not that easy, you know. Sometimes it's, okay, I hear what you're saying, but this is how this is how I felt when you did it or said it. And
Yeah,
so,
but during counseling, all of these 17 years, you normally never hear a woman say, it's been a year, why is he still tripping? They normally don't think like that. They normally don't even have the conversation or whatever. And on the flip side, it's like the male may have crossed the line in a relationship and went outside of his marriage, and then he has a time frame of when she should be over it or be healed. And at some point in time, if they don't get over it fast enough, they are even willing to leave and dissolve their marriage when they're the one is the cause of the marriage being at the place that it is. So it really don't even make sense that they would even frame their minds to even think something like that when they're the cause of what took place. And so, yes, you need help. If you already see you can't resolve it yourself. And so, because there's other things that play into this and the conversations that you have to have in a counseling session. And so you just can't talk to her. You're the one who wounded her. You're the one who hurt her, so she can barely hear you like that. And so that's where you need, the help to come in for something that drastic.
absolutely. Now, and where do women ever hurt? I mean, I'm gonna say do ever. Of course they do. And what ways? What are some of the common ways that maybe women may hurt their spouses?
I think one of the worst ways that a woman can devastate her husband's life is with her words. The things that she does, not understanding how a man is made and how he's built. And you can do things that are so damaging with your words, with your disrespect, your dishonor, just all of those things can do so much more damage. And because when we were down in a retreat in February, I said, you can tell a man so many times, I don't need you. I don't need you. If God created him to be needed and you tell him you don't need him, he may be living with you, but at a point in time he checks out. But he still may be living with you. And so when I hear women with their independent spirits saying, I got this awesome job, but she has a husband, and she says things like, I don't need you. I can take care of myself. You've already did damage unless you reach a point where you stop doing it and you can work through that. But if that's something that he hears all the time, you better believe that he may be still with you, but he's already checked out. And then you have to now revisit what's on the inside of you that make you feel like that. If you don't need him, then what you marry him for? And so all those things that women say with their mouths that are very destructive, and then sometimes women get on the man's level. And a man don't ever want to look at you as his equal to that degree.
I don't think we've ever really talked about that in a show yet.
Yeah, where you're in his face, you're hostile, you want to fight,
Getting
you want to
loud.
do those type of things. You put yourself in a whole nother position in his eyes. And when he see you that way, he no longer see you as a female, as a woman, as that gentle person that he loves. You become the enemy at that point. Because once you back him into a corner, you're going to get a reaction. We just don't know which one you're going to get.
Right. Yeah, because if you want, the man is supposed to honor his wife as the weaker vessel, and not pertaining to strength in arm wrestling contests or push-up contests, but into gentleness. I think about if you went to, let's say you were invited into the White House, and you went in there, or to one of the world's greatest museums, and you went in there and there was some priceless heirlooms and some vases that were worth millions of dollars, and someone said, here, hold this vase. You would hold that gently with two hands and cradle it, and you would do everything you can to make sure that you don't drop it, you don't scratch it, you don't bump it, you don't cause any damage to it. And that's the way that the husband should honor his wife as the weaker vessel, as someone that he's careful with and gentle with and protective of. But if you get into another realm of, being loud and hollering at him, or, using profanity, or, pointing your finger or getting in his face or things like that, then, you lose your gentleness in his eyesight, And, do you find that, women that you talk to, and, I know we counsel a lot of couples, but I know you also counsel a lot of women as well. Do you find that women are willing to ask for forgiveness when they get in that arena, when they get loud and yelling and rough like that? Do they ever, because that breaks the honor and respect that a man so desperately needs. Do they ever?
I really believe that it really depends on, it's an individual thing. And it depends on how bad do she feel like she was damaged, because normally when they go there, they're coming out to fight like a cat, like you're going to hear me one way or the other, they're also protecting themselves too,
Right.
and they think that that's the answer. And so it really depends on their mental state, if they feel that they owe them an apology, you know what I'm saying? Because I've talked to women who say he shouldn't have never bumped me, or he shouldn't have never stepped to me like that, so in their minds that's what they're thinking. Neither side should have happened, but it has.
And I really wasn't even talking about in the bump, the bumping.
Just
type.
normal.
Yeah, man shouldn't be, doing that.
Yeah.
Period. I'm not talking about that at all. But I just mean, they can get in an argument over the fact that she asked him to pick up her dry cleaning, before he came home from work.
Well, there's more to it if he didn't do it and forgot, and that's
and they come in and people get. I mean, I'm just making it up, but people can get in arguments over some really stupid stuff.
Well, then if they holler and scream and get on the level as a man for that, then they need more help than just.
Yeah. I mean, think about how easily that happens. I mean, he comes in. I'm just making this up, but he comes in and she said, "Did you get my dry cleaning or whatever?" And he's like, "Your dry cleaning? Was I supposed to? I asked you to get it before you left, and I told you I was going to get it."
Well, I don't think that's the same as getting on the level as a man.
No. I'm saying I'm just saying that's how it starts.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then if the response is not right, then if the reaction is, "You don't never," or you know what I'm saying, I can't ask you to do anything. You know what I'm saying. Then if you get loud in that response, that's where the man it looks like you're breaking that honor and that respect. And as a lady, that's not the only way to get your point across.
Absolutely.
And it's not the best way, to get your point across, because if you get your point across in the right way, he'll go down there, he'll leave and go right back down there to the dry cleaning place and get it right now. Yeah. And if they're closed, he'll go to the people's house and open.
I'm home now.
No, I'm saying if she's doing normally, if she's doing that right,
okay,
she can get the man to leap over a building. I mean,
the bionic man.
Yeah, I mean the women, you ladies, you got the power. You just gotta know how to use it. The power is not in being loud or being manipulative.
Any of those things.
No.
Yeah. It is what you have. You just haven't tapped into your gift.
Yeah, you gotta know how to use that power. All right, so I'm giving you little tips. You got the power. You can get us to really do, anything you want if you do it and say it the right way. All right, now number 4. This is the 4th thing we're going to talk about that often may lead to an unhealthy marriage, and this is not really listening. Okay, and I'm sure nobody thinks that in their marriage they don't listen.
And that frustrates women more than anything.
What do you mean by that?
Because most of the time the woman is the one who wants to talk and communicate and to go more into detail, and sometimes they get one sentence, like one word in conversation, and so I believe that affects them more on the listening side, because I don't normally hear a man say, "Sit here, I need to talk to you, I really need you to listen." I mean, we don't have counseled anyone who normally says that.
Okay. All right. So now, in not really listening, we're going to talk about why listen when we know we're right. Why listen when we already know what our husband or wife or child is going to say? Now, people hear. This is where I want to go. People hear what their spouses say. or sometimes what their children say, but they don't always listen.
Other manual besides the Word of God that most people don't even pick up unless they go to church. Expect to be successful. It makes my brain just feel a certain kind of way, because it's one of the most important things on planet Earth, but the one thing that requires no education. Do you see what I'm saying? No education.
They don't teach it in school.
They don't teach it in school.
College.
No parents normally teach it at home because they don't know what they're doing. And then this thing just multiplies and it just keeps, just reaping. I mean, it's just,
Wow.
I'm just like blown away when I'm talking about it.
Me too.
Because it's like, when are we going to get a clue? We're doing everything in the world to solve the problem of the world's problem, and it's right smack in our face. And so it's just like, wow.
You know, I was thinking about it as you said that. You know, you have to learn how to drive before you get a driver's license. Is what you said, right? You gotta pass the written test, and you gotta pass the driving test.
You gotta prove to them.
And because of that, most people that you see drive, they all do it the same way. They all drive on the right side of the street that they're supposed to. They stop when they're supposed to.
Yep.
You know, they turn with their signals. Most people drive the right way. And if you don't, there's somebody there to wait to give you a ticket and to refresh your memory.
Yeah.
On
Or
the way
take your license away so you can't keep
drive no more.
participating. Yeah.
Exactly. But you can go into almost every house where there's a married couple, every block, every neighborhood, doesn't matter the poverty, doesn't matter whether they're wealthy, middle class, doesn't matter whether they're African American, Asian, white, doesn't matter. I mean, you can go into every home and you see marriage done differently.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Their own definition.
Where if we were all taught in school by the guider, the creator of marriage, and we all did it the way he said, you should actually be able to go from home to home and look and see marriage being done so similarly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But since we did not create godly offsprings, and we did not do it the way that God said to do it, we have a million different examples, and no one knows which one to choose. It's almost a any, mini, money, mo.
Catch your marriage by your toe.
Choose the one you want, which way you want to go. And that's not the way, or it was designed for it to be done.
I like your freestyling right there.
What?
You don't even know what I'm talking about there.
Was I rapping?
You were rhyming.
Oh, okay.
I'm giving you some props. You were freestyling. All I needed to do was add a little beatbox to it, and we might have had a little gospel marriage hip hop.
Okay.
All right, number 5, not really paying attention. Okay, this is probably more of a man thing too, but this is listening with our eyes and the rest of our senses. It would help to notice our wife's new haircut or that twinge in your husband's eye. You know what I mean by that twinge?
The twinge is normally something that we get on a regular basis.
What do I mean? What am I meaning by that twinge in their husband's eye? That twinge means that husband has a look in his eye when, he's.
Outside of the look, what other things do they pay attention to?
No, I was saying for the wife to pay attention to that for him.
But it normally benefits him.
Well, and then him noticing her haircut and being complimented benefits her. So I was just giving one example for each.
No, it benefits him, even when he says she looks amazing, because it benefits you.
Well, if she notices that twinge in his eye and she does something about it, it's going to benefit her too. It should.
Wow, okay.
I mean, it should, shouldn't it?
No matter how we look at it, it's always a benefit for you.
It's always a benefit for
the male.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what can we do to benefit the women?
Intimacy without a twinge in your eye.
So when he's giving compliments, he's noticing that she got her hair done, her eye, he's giving compliments, and he didn't mention, sex. He just noticed it and said he likes it or something like that. What's the benefit? She doesn't get any benefit out of that?
Yeah, she really does. I'm just,